Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green Psychic. Thank you for joining me again on a Sunday night for your free triple deck reading. Okay, just a quick reminder, starting in September, I will be going live on YouTube on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. and I will continue to go live on TikTok 7 p.m. on a Sunday night. I'm also introducing Patreon, so if you do subscribe to Patreon, what will happen is when I go live on a Saturday night, you can come on into chat and ask me a question and I'll answer that for free, or give you 3 general cards, whichever you decide. Also, because it's YouTube, I'm going to be doing a second video that goes up each week. It's only for people on Patreon on YouTube. And what it will be is a question spread, which will be a little bit different. But again, you'll choose pile 1, 2, or 3, ask a question, and the layout is going to be different, and I'll interpret those cards to answer your question. So don't forget, that's coming in September. Other than that, choose your pile, watch that part of the video, try and have a really great week, and until next week, blessed be. Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green Psychic. Thank you for joining me again on a Sunday night for your free triple deck reading. Okay, if you chose pile number 1, you're gonna regret it. No, this is your reading. Okay, guys, just before we get into it, just a reminder, starting Patreon on YouTube in September, and I will be going live every Saturday night at 7 p.m. So I hope to see you there. I will have a link up on Facebook for people that coming from Facebook that don't know how to use YouTube. Okay, so the first card out is the negative energy card. Okay, now this card I created in my deck for when I'm doing a one-on-one, just in case there's a negative spirit or entity or something around. But with a general, this is normally there is negative energy. A lot of the time, it is literally somebody is out to get you. Now, actually, I don't feel that. I just feel like that there is a lot of negative energy around you at the moment. Yes, it could be your negative energy, but I'm genuinely picking up that, you know, everybody's got the sooks, everybody's angry and jealous and mixed up and lost, and it's this whole big thing, okay? So what I'm getting right now is don't take it personally, okay? You've got to understand that just like you get anxiety and you get worked up, other people do as well, obviously. So it is kind of that, hang in there, don't take it personally. If you can see that somebody is not right and you don't have the energy to help that person, then maybe stay away from that person for the time being. Look, guys, I'm a very big supporter of helping people in need, but the number one rule of the universe is to help yourself, take care of yourself first, and then help others. My quote that I always say is, you cannot set yourself on fire to warm another person. So right now, if you don't have the energy or the ability to actually help, then you need to take a step back, because you will get sucked into this, you know, they're like helpless and they're lost and they don't know what to do when you've not got the energy to help them, and you don't know what to do. So it just becomes your problem. And a lot of this negativity is around, okay? So just be mindful of that. Straight away I got misery loves company. Okay, so look, this is the marriage card, obviously. So this is this could be talking about directly with romance. There may be problems there. Again, your partner might be a little bit off or a little bit snappy. Just don't take it personally. It's just that there's a lot of stuff going on at the moment, okay? And I will say the same thing. This isn't just romance. This is partnership. This could be work. You've got to not take it personally, okay? And you've got to, it's kind of like you've got to turn the other cheek, because first off, it's not fair because somebody else is grumpy. They're taking it out on you because they've got problems, whereas you've got problems as well, but you're not taking that out on other people. It does make you the better person or the bigger person. But again, you're suffering with your own problems than the fact that somebody else is taking their problems out on you. And it's kind of a double slap, a double whammy. So in that situation, what you need to do is just put your hands up and go, no, I'm not going to think about this. I'm not going to be sucked into it. I'm just going to be like, they're in a bad way. They've got problems. I've got problems. I'm just going to go over here, calm down, and do my own thing. That's literally what this is about. This is kind of a lesson for you guys to, um, I feel like saying, deal with things that are unfair. Now, anybody that's been following me for a while or knows me knows that I honestly believe the hardest thing in life to get over isn't the loss, isn't death, isn't betrayal or heartbreak or whatever. It is literally when it's injustice, when something is just not fair. You know, that really mean person that treats everybody like crap but wins the lotto and always seems to be ahead. That is the hardest thing in life for us to swallow, because there really is no dealing with that problem. There really is no completion with that. You like, so what you need to learn to do is go, okay, well, that sucks. Process it. Yeah, it really does suck. Accept it. Like, that is the way it is, unfortunately. And then you can move forward. And why I'm saying this is because then you can let go of that negative energy and you can, yeah, it sucks. Some people are born like gorgeous supermodels. That's not fair to people that have a weight problem. Some people are tall. Some people are, born rich. Some people just seem to have all the luck in the world. Yeah, it sucks. It's not fair, but we do know that that's life. So we have to accept that and move forward. If we dwell on that, that's where we become bitter and jealous and angry and frustrated. You don't want that, because at the end of the day, um, nobody wants to feel that way. You want to find peace and happiness. And if you can find peace and happiness in accepting the blessings that you do have, like good health or, clear skin, whatever it may be, we all have a positive that somebody else doesn't have. And it's not about working out those positives and making us seem better than everybody else. It's about realizing what your blessings are and accepting that, okay? How many times do we see the Hollywood stars that seem to have everything on in the world that they can have, and then they've got drug problems, or they're caught up in this scandal, or they do this or they do that? It's kind of like they go insane, because it's like, yes, they've got all the money, but it doesn't mean they're happy. It really is that saying, money can't buy happiness. To people that go turn around, and I'm one of them, well, I'd love to try that. Genuinely, that's when people actually are thankful for what they have in their life, and they're making do, and they do have love and support around, and they do have an idea of how the world works. So money would be the icing on the cake for people like that. But you've got people on the other spectrum that have all the money in the world, but don't know how to interact with people, don't know what happiness is, because they think it's money and the next big project and the next, and they work their asses off and do another movie or make another song, and they don't seem to find happiness because they don't know what that is. Okay, so there is that whole getting rid of the negativity, process it, accept it, and move on. Now, look, this is the younger man upside down. This is coming up with a strategy. You need to come up with a plan of attack on how you're going to get through this negativity, how you're going to reserve your positive energy for yourself. And this can be as simple as going, I'm not going to let it get to me. I'm going to walk away. Every time I get angry or jealous, because we all get jealous, jealous that person has a new car and mine's like falling apart, just be like, well, I'm happy for that person, and I hope that I get that myself, but right now I need to concentrate on what I'm doing and not let that affect me. That's what this strategy is, working out that, okay, things are going to upset me, they're going to make me angry, they're going to make me sad, they're going to make me jealous, insecure, but it's preparing for that. And if you prepare for that, and I'm not saying go out there and expect negativity, because don't live that way, guys. I know it feels safer, but it's actually not, because you're generating negativity. But be prepared. And be prepared that, okay, well, if I'm walking down the street and somebody spits in my face, how am I going to react to that? Okay, so, you could turn around and punch the person in the head and turn it into a big thing, or you could just wipe it off and keep on walking. That's probably a bad example, because most of us would really confront somebody if they spat in our face. So, somebody says your hair looks shocking today. Just be like, well, you know, you can either get upset and insecure and sad and angry about that if a stranger says that, or you can just stick your finger up and walk away. Like, or you can just walk away. That's probably the better thing. This is what I'm getting to: build a strategy for dealing with these problems. Now, this is awesome. This is prosperity. Now, this isn't just money coming in. This can actually be going to buy something and it's half price. It could be getting a rebate on something. It could be a tax return. There is money there is a little bit of money coming in, but I feel like there's a lot of saving of money. Okay. Now, this isn't just money. This is happiness. This is prosperity. This is all things good. So yes, you may be surrounded in a circle of negativity. Now, like I said, you know, wherever it's coming from, you've just not got to take it there. You just can't take it personally. You've got to have this structure and this idea of how you're going to get through it. And you're going to benefit from this. If you follow this, you are going to benefit. So just think about standing in a massive ring of fire, okay? How am I going to get through that fire? Well, I can use water to put out part of that fire and walk over it. I could throw a towel down. I could, you know, whatever your strategy is for dealing with that problem or problems, come up with that, and then you can move forward, and there's a lot of positive energy there for you at the end. Okay, guys, I really do hope that helped. If you want a full reading, please contact me. And don't forget, I will be going live in September, Saturday nights on YouTube at 7 p.m. and, of course, Sunday nights on TikTok at 7 p.m. Until next week, guys, hope that helped, and blessed be. Hi, guys. Aaron Leaf Green, the Green Psychic. Sorry, my cards just went squeal whiff. I hope you guys are well. If you chose color number 2, then this card is for you. Well, this reading is for you. Okay, before we get it started, just a reminder, September, going live Saturday nights on YouTube at 7 p.m. And I will be doing Patreon. So you can watch the intro or the TikTok video for more information. Other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Freedom card. It's upside down. So this is being tied into something. I actually am getting the fact that you need to accept something. So this could be you know, oh, I've got a phone bill and I've got another 6 months before I can get out of that contract. Yes, that sucks. Yes, that's stressful, but you need to accept that that bill is going to be there. As much as it sucks, most of us will always have bills. Yes, you can go through and cut all your bills down and do all of this great stuff, but, you know, we're always going to have like mortgage or rent or council rates or subscriptions to streaming services like Netflix. We're always going to have bills, okay? But this is kind of like you need to accept that it is this way. Now, this isn't specifically about money. There is a situation that, you know, this could be you're really into somebody and you've tried flirting with them and asking them out and you've tried everything and they just aren't into you. It's kind of like, well, you need to accept that it is that way, okay? I look, honestly, most of the cards have some sort of a positive spin a lot of the times, even in their negative side. But right now, I'm not picking up that it's kind of like, well, you need to accept that this is great. Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense. This is about accepting something that you're not particularly happy with, that's going on for a bit. I do feel like that there is an ending coming for whatever this situation is, but it's not for a little bit. So again, like I said, it could be accepting that you've got a phone contract for another 6 months. It could genuinely be accepting that your friend is dating somebody that you don't like. Yes, you need to accept that at the moment. There's nothing you can do about it, but it won't last. That's probably why you like don't get with them, because you can see the, you know, but there is that cycle of accepting something at the moment, but it's not going to be long term, okay? So look, before I picked that up, I was going to say this could actually have something to do with health problems as well. It could be that, you know, hypothetically, you've got high blood pressure. Okay, well, there's not much you can do about it. You can follow the diets and the medication and all that. You need to accept that that's what it is at the moment, and over time, it will end. You will get on top of it, okay? Because I do feel like that this does have something to do with health. It's very hard because this is a general reading. Now, look, this card is positive energy. It's support. It's love. There's a lot of things going for you around you as, you know, a lot of positive things. So let's go with the phone contract. 6 months, you have to accept that. But you've got the money to pay that bill. You've got money coming in where you can pay that. And it sucks, but it is what it is. That's what I'm getting here. Same as, look, you may have to accept that your friend is dating somebody that you don't like, but, you know, there's a lot of people on the same wavelength as you, but there's still that love of friendship there. It's not like, you know, the friendship's going to end or anything like that. And there's a lot going on, a lot of positive things. So you might actually go out to dinner with them or go to a party with them, and you see firsthand them fighting over something stupid, which confirms how you're feeling. But that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of support, a lot of, yes, you're on the right wavelengths, a lot of signs, if that makes sense. Okay. Now, the next card, that flipped and it was still upside down. Okay, so this is a pregnancy card. This is kind of like, okay, you need to accept whatever this situation is now, but like a pregnancy takes 9 months, I'm telling you, I've been saying that whatever this is, it's not going to be permanent. It is going to lead to something new, okay? That's what this pregnancy card is saying. Whatever's going on now is going to lead to something new. So hypothetically, you're like, look at it this way. Your friend might be dating somebody that you don't like, but by the end of that relationship, they're going to learn enough to know who the right and wrong person is to date, and the next person they date you're gonna love. You know, it could be that once this contract is up, this phone contract is up, you can, instead of having a contract, you can just buy month-to-month credit on your phone. Whatever it is, it's leading to something new, something big, okay? So even though you have to accept the way things are at the moment, just keep in mind that it's only a short period, and then something new is going to come along, be birthed. Okay, so the spiritual path card here is upside down. So there is a lesson in all of this. Part of it is a lesson of waiting. Part of it, and patience. That's a big thing right now for you guys, which I hate saying to people because I hate when people say it to me, just be patient. But that's why it's a virtue. Okay, so there is an element of patience here. There also is an element of accepting things that you cannot change, having the strength to accept things that you cannot change, and accepting things for what they are. So look, I feel like that I keep referring to a friend dating somebody that you don't like, okay? Even though you don't like them and you probably have good reason, your friend is on a journey and will work out, that's what this is going to work it out for themselves. But you also are on a journey because it's like you're too invested in this person. You need to learn that others need to learn on their own time. Sometimes they have to go. It's like being a parent watching a child grow. You're going to watch them make mistakes, but as much as you talk and explain things to them, they're going to do what they're going to do at the end of the day, and that's how we learn. So again, it comes down to be old and wise first, you must be young and stupid. And trust me, I was young and stupid a lot. So there is a lesson here for you. And look, I hate to say this because I don't genuinely believe this, but they're saying to me, ignorance is bliss. So in that sense, I feel like the part of this lesson for you is that you do need to put your hands up and say, okay, look, I've done the best I can. I've given you my opinion, my advice. You're still going to do what you're going to do. There's nothing I can do. I'm just going to go, you do you, and I will do me. It's that sort of a situation that's going to turn this around and find you're going to be on the right spiritual path. So, as an example, I'm going to use myself here. And I'm not talking about clients. I'm going to talk about people in my personal life. But there's an ongoing joke with me that on one hand, I want to get, trust me, I'm psychic, tattooed, and on this hand I want to say get tattooed, I told you so. Because the amount of times that I will tell my friends and family something, they genuinely know what I can do as a psychic. They genuinely believe, but they live their own, it's free will. They'll make their own choices, which is the way you're supposed to do it. And then they go and do the opposite of what I said, and things fall apart, and they come back, and I'm like, well, I now just hold my hand up like that, and I told you so. Because it's kind of like I can sit here and tell you what I see and what's coming and all of that, but at the end of the day, you need to make your own individual choices. And that's the lesson that you guys need to learn right now. As much as you care about somebody, as much as you care about, this could be an organization or work. I know a lot of people get stressed out about work. Well, if they made this change and this change, then everything would run better. But there's acceptance that you might not be in charge. You might not be able to make those changes. So sometimes you do need to accept that this is a situation, okay? And having that acceptance and understanding, well, there's no point getting worked up if, I can tell somebody's gay and they're dating somebody of the opposite sex. It's clearly not going to work out, but they need to work that out for themselves. It's not up to me to go and talk to them and tell them and whatever. I can give my opinion, and help them and be there for them when they need to come to me, but I can't force anybody to do anything. And that's the energy that I'm getting from this. But apart from that, this isn't about you. This isn't me saying, guys, you are too controlling and manipulative. That's not what it is. It's like once you let go of trying to fix that situation or trying to help that situation, you will let go of a lot of worry and anxiety and stress and negativity from yourself. That's what this is about. Letting go of that. You want to find that freedom. You want to have that freedom. But right now it's the opposite. It's like you're carrying other people's problems and situations on your shoulders. So you need to learn when to walk away. Okay. And if you're watching a accident happen in slow motion, so be it. You can only be there for support in the end, but this is where you're going to go through some growth, let go of some negativity, because I genuinely feel like you guys are going from, so to speak, children into adults. You're at that precipice, that ledge, that line where you are now going from young and stupid to wise. Part of being wise is understanding that some people need to make their own mistakes. Some people, no matter how much you try, are just not going to be able to be helped or listened to or whatever. So it's kind of that grandfather, grandmother stage where you sit back and you're like looking at the young children and you're like, I can see what's going to happen here. You don't need to be psychic, but I can't tell them. They have to learn for themselves. Okay, guys, I really hope that helped. If you do want a full reading, please reach out. thegreenspsychic.com or through the socials. Don't forget Patreon is coming. And until next week, guys, blessed be. Hi guys, Aaron Leaf Green, the Green Psychic. Thank you for joining me again on a Sunday night for your free triple deck reading. Okay, if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. Okay, just before we get started, just a reminder, starting in September, going live Saturday nights on YouTube at 7 p.m. And I will continue to go live on TikTok at 7 p.m. on Sundays. Okay, so don't get too upset about this. This is the love card. It's upside down. Now, the energy right now, you guys are pile number 3. So I've just gone through this in pile 1 and 2. The energy right now is complex. It is negative, but it's not... What I want to say to you is don't take things personally. That's kind of what I'm saying. What I've been saying all day. So this love energy is kind of like, for you guys, I kind of feel like it's not so much about outward negative energy coming at you. I do feel like that this is kind of meh, what's the point? We're going around in circles, blah, 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 blah. And again, it's that cycle for you guys. Now, like I always say, when you're going through that cycle, just keep in mind that it's not going to last forever. You're not going to feel that way forever. And if it has been a couple of weeks or a couple of months where you're like, meh, everything's blur, then that's a big sign to you that you need to change something, okay? You might not love your job. Change jobs. You might not actually be in a happy relationship. You may have tried everything. It may be time to end that. It's better to be by yourself than with the wrong person, because forget the whole situation of how negative it is to be in that relationship. How are you supposed to find the right person while you're in a relationship? Okay, the right person is never going to come along and say, hey, I know you're in a relationship, but date me, let's go out. If that's not the right person, like yeah. So look, there is something here that you may need to change that you're not loving, and it's kind of like chase your happiness. Now if everything is like fine, it's just crap, then that's where I'm saying that you are going to work through this. It's not going to go on forever, but that does say to me that you do need to make some sort of a little change. Even if you're like accepting that your job is your job and your partner is your partner and your work, maybe it's time to learn a musical instrument or another language or take up baking or gardening or fishing. It is kind of like find something, try a whole bunch of different things to see if something ignites that little flame in you that gets you excited that, oh, on the weekend I'm going to go fishing, or when I get home from work today I'm going to paint a picture, or I'm going to bake a cake just for the sake of it. There is that, find something, not just a hobby, but find something that gives you that spark, because once you find that spark, it will turn into a flame and it will spread out into the other aspects of your life. If you're excited to go home to play a video game, then while you're at work, oh, it sucks to be here, but I can't wait to get home. You've got that excitement. Okay, find that's what it is. Find something. The hardest part about this is when you're feeling meh, you can't be bothered trying new things or finding new things. This is where life is a journey and you need to push yourself to do that. Even if you just start with some research, would I be interested in that? Getting out away from people and sitting on a dock fishing, would that be something that I'm into? Blah blah blah. Ask yourself those questions. Now, this card, ironically, this card is the protection card. It's upside down. It's saying, look, there isn't anything big and bad around at the moment that you need to protect yourself. The way you're feeling right now isn't outward negativity, which is what I said before I pulled out any of the cards. It's kind of the internal, how you're feeling. Ugh, is this my life? This is, blah 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 blah. We've discussed the need to get out, because this card is a hibernation card, and when it's upside down, it's actually saying you need to get out more. So it's not just go out to a club and have drinks or go out and meet new people. It's not specifically that I'm getting this week. It really is, get out and try to go fishing and see if you like that. Get out and paint something and see if you're interested in that. It's actually get out. It's more do something. You need to be active right now. Excuse me. So a lot of times when we're feeling meh, we kind of become a couch potato. And the fact that we're so still, it kind of, our energy becomes very still, very flat, and it kind of perpetuates itself. So a lot of times you need to stir things up. You like get up randomly and just go for a walk around the block and come home. Just that little bit of energy will actually generate a bit of motivation, will generate a bit of positive energy. And, as you're going around the block, what would I be interested in doing? Do I want to go and, again, do I want to go fishing? Do I want to paint a picture? Do I want to bake a cake? Am I into gardening? Like, ask yourself these things, but you need to push yourself a little bit here, okay? And when I say push yourself, there's for no other reason than to bring yourself happiness. This isn't push yourself because you're lazy or you're doing anything wrong. No. This isn't push yourself because if you don't, bad things are going to happen. No. This is genuinely push yourself to bring yourself happiness. This is all about your happiness. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but this is what I'm saying. This is the succubus card. This is all this anxiety and worry draining you of your energy. So the longer you kind of dwell or don't do anything, stay stationary, the longer it's going to go on, the more stressful it is, because you will go down that rabbit hole of thinking, well, this sucks and that's never going to happen and blah, 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 blah. And this person has that and that. And you're just going to dwell and get more negative. You're going to get angry and frustrated and snappy, and you're just not going to be a fun person to be around. You're not going to be a nice person to be around. No offense. I'm not trying to put you guys down, but it is that we all go through that phases. I go through those phases as well. Not so much anymore, but I've been through those phases where I'm so grumpy that nobody wants to be around me. And I kind of pull myself away from everybody because I know that I'm not fun to be around. during what I might be stressing about something. A lot of times I pick up energy from my clients, and sometimes it takes a while for that energy to dispel. So I totally understand this, but this is kind of the one, this is how you're feeling at the moment, not feeling love. But if you don't do something about it, it's just going to get worse. It is actually going to turn into full-blown anxiety and frustration and anger and bitterness. And there's a lot of people these days that feel very lonely, and I'm not talking about romantically. I'm saying, oh, I only have 2 friends and blah blah blah. The more you dwell in this sort of energy, the more you push people away. Okay, so you've got to keep that in mind as well. um yes, our friends are supposed to be there to support us no matter what, but sometimes if we're, over the top, it's understandable that our friends are going to be like, look, I'm going to leave you to it. When you calm down, give me a call. Same as we do that with our friends. Sometimes they're over the top and we're like, I'm going to leave it. You're in a bad mood. I'll call you tomorrow. So you don't want to start pushing away the people that are close to you. It's actually the opposite. You want to get out there, get rid of this negative energy, and find something positive to focus on. Okay. So yeah, look, this is really good. The end result here is the conflict card, and it's upside down. So this is saying, if right now, if you're feeling this meh and things are bad, but it's going to be okay. I feel like if you dwell in this, it is going to result in some sort of a conflict, right? But this is all saying, if you get out there, if you deal with this problem, with this, oh, I feel so sick right now in my chest. How do you feel nauseated in your chest? That's just ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys, but this is kind of like, you need to learn to let go of this energy. You need to accept that sometimes life is boring. Sometimes life is blur, and, it's hard to get through, but you need to create your own coping mechanisms to get through that. Sometimes when I want to block out the world, I'll play a video game, or right now I'm making an art piece, I will say. Which I will probably end up showing at some point. But there are ways of doing something, and I'm talking about something active. So like sitting there watching TV and watching a movie, great. That can be very helpful at times. Right now it's saying, no, you need to be doing something active. You need to, even if you get up and clean the house, but it's all about finding something that you enjoy. And it is hard. It really is hard. It's kind of like when, you've just broken up with somebody and somebody says, oh, well, that happened yesterday. Get over it. You can't just switch your feelings off like that. You can't. And it's the same in this situation. It's a hard thing to do when you're not feeling motivated and you're feeling very blur, to push yourself to do something. But this card here is really talking about momentum. Once you start doing that, you're actually going to be able to get on top of the way you're feeling, push forward, and there is a lot of positivity here. Now, this is kind of a warning that if you don't do this, it is going to lead to a big conflict at some point. So it might not be specifically you have a fight with somebody. It could actually be that this leads to like a midlife crisis or something like that. It's just, if you don't deal with these problems, they're going to grow, and it's going to cause a big issue later on down the track. Okay, guys, I really hope that helped. If you want a full reading, please contact me, thegreenpsychic.com, or through the socials. Don't forget, I will be live September, Saturday nights at 7 p.m. on YouTube, Sunday nights, as always, 7 p.m. on TikTok. Until next week, guys, blessed be.